Hi, today we're going to read Undersea Mystery Club Problem at the Playground, Part 2 of 3. So, yesterday we read the first part of the book and we found out that there was a problem at the playground. And Violet and Wally are trying to solve the problem together. It's like a mystery. Let's see what happens in today's book. Chapter 4. To the clubhouse! Violet exclaimed. To the clubhouse! Dusty said. Yes, Wally agreed. He had already forgotten all about the seagrass cookies. The best friends swam to their secret hiding spot, a small alcove in the middle of a nearby coral reef. What do you think happened? Violet asked. She plopped down onto a chair made of sand. Wally started giggling. What's so funny? She asked. The coral is tickling me, Wally said. He wiggled his flippers. Wally, we need to focus, Violet said. Right, Wally replied. Do you know what we should do? Violet did indeed. A brainstorm! They exclaimed together. Coming up with ideas was one of their favorite things to do. It was also a great way to solve mysteries. Violet took out an hourglass, a pencil, and her trusty notepad. 3, 2, 1, go! She said, flipping the hourglass timer over. Wally had already come up with lots of ideas. Maybe an alien came during the night and it's part of their plan to take over the world, one park at a time. Violet laughed and wrote it down. Or maybe it was a mad scientist, Wally added excitedly, and she used her giant, super powerful magnet to pull all of the screws and hinges and stuff out. Violet raised her eyebrow, but kept scribbling. Or maybe there was an earthquake, Wally suggested. Could be, Violet said, nodding. But I think we would have felt that. What do you think then? Wally asked. He was out of ideas. Violet watched as the last grains of the sand passed through the hourglass. Well, she said, those things are all possible, but it's also possible that it was just a troublemaker pulling a prank. But who would? Wally asked, trailing off. They knew exactly who would do such a thing. Gil Sharkfin, they all said at once. Uh-oh. Chapter 5. Everyone in Aquamarina knew that Gil Sharkfin was the biggest prankster around. He loved playing tricks on people. In fact, Gil was so good at pranking, he had won the Best Prank Award every year since it had been invented. Of course, he also invented it. Violet and Wally found Gil right in the middle of town. Not surprisingly, he was moving the hands on the village clock. Look who it is, he said. Are you here to help me turn back time? Violet shook her head. We're not here to play games, Gil, she replied. Someone sabotaged the new playground, and you just assumed it was me? He cut in. It usually is you, Violet reminded him. True, he replied with a smirk, and I'm honored, but I can't take credit for this one. My pranks are hilarious, not dangerous. Besides, your mom would exile me if I ruined any more town events this year. Violet knew he was right. Between Aquamarina's summer parade fiasco, bicentennial blackout, and the silent winter concert, Gil had definitely caused enough trouble already. Not that would stop him from smaller, everyday pranks. Ding dong, ding dong. The clock chimed so loudly they all jumped. A shopkeeper came out of the store across the street. Hey, he called, stop messing with that clock. Got a jet, Gil replied, laughing. See you around. He swam off in a flash of bubbles. Violet and Wally slowly swam back to their clubhouse. Now what? Wally asked. That was our only good lead. Violet thought about the clock striking twice. That's it, she exclaimed. If the culprit struck once, they may strike again. Wally clapped his flippers. He doesn't have fingers. Meet me at the playground tonight after dinner, Violet explained. We will have to go back to the scene of the crime. If Gil or someone else comes back, we'll be ready for them. Chapter 6. Later that night, Violet and Wally returned to the park. We need a hideout to catch the thief in the act, Violet told him. Wally used his horn to reveal a mermaid and narwhal-sized hole in the wall of seaweed. Now, how about here, he asked. It's my favorite hide-and-seek spot. Perfect, Violet replied. And good to know, she added with a wink, so that she can find him next time they're playing hide-and-seek. Oops, Wally sighed. Soon the friends were hidden from view. The long wait had begun. I'm hungry, Wally complained. You're always hungry, Violet laughed, but I have something for you. She reached into her backpack and pulled out a brown bag. Do you know what you eat during a stakeout? She asked. Steak! Wally cried. No, Violet laughed, but I did bring you some leftover seagrass cookies. Wally smiled as he gobbled up the cookies. The sun was slowly disappearing overhead. Ugh, Wally grunted. This is taking forever. Shouldn't the aliens be here by now? Violet laughed. We have to be patient, she said. Besides, it's only been a little while. I hope they come soon, Wally said. I have to be home by dark. Me too, she sighed. Me three, added Dusty. Crunch, crunch, crunch. What's that noise? Violet whispered, putting her hand close to her ear. Is someone out there? Wally stopped chewing. No, he replied, his mouth full of cookies. I just finished a bag of cookies. I think it was something else, Violet replied. Quick, toss me the binoculars. Wally used his horn to flip the binoculars to Violet. The last glimmers of sunlight beamed off the metal heap in the middle of the park. Violet adjusted her binoculars just in time to see something move in the moonlight. What are those things? Violet whispered. Aliens! Wally replied. I knew it was aliens all along. They look like rocks, Violet said. Alien rocks! Wally added. Violet slapped her head to her forehead. We have to get a closer look. I'm going in. Wally gulped. He knew that meant he was going in too. To be continued. Will they solve the problem at the playground? Find out in part 3. All right, you guys will have to wait until the next read aloud to find out if they solved the problem. Bye.